Folks, the transfer window for us fans as it stands right now is an awfully, awfully long way away. We've got some big, big games before the January transfer window even opens. However, it might be nice just to take a brief glance across to the transfer window just to get our minds off the current form. And Craig Hope has reported this morning that we are potentially in for a Dutch Wonderkid. So we'll have a look at him. Anthony Elanga has spoken out in an interview to Swedish media regarding his dreadful start to life at Newcastle United. And on the injury front, Joelinton, who is currently on holiday in Brazil, may be fit for the City game. And Yuan Wissa, who is, of course, yet to make an appearance for Newcastle United, is literally going to extra lengths to try and get fit. Let's dive in. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Toon Review. My name is Paul. This is your latest Newcastle United news. Thank you again for watching the video. We will start off with Craig Hope's report this morning regarding a Dutch Wonderkid. Now, look, I know these Wonderkids, they keep being linked to every club in the land and they keep being sort of paired off against players from the past, which I don't particularly like, saying he's the next this and this. I think each individual player that comes through should be on their own merit and not linked to any other player from the past. There is massive interest in this player, guys, but Craig Hope has reported this morning that we are chasing Dutch Wonderkid Kees Smit, who is currently playing in Alkmaar in the Eredivisie. He is getting a lot of attention, a lot, and he isn't going to come cheap either. But this is, I don't know whether this is an indication, guys, of the fact that we may well have money to spend in January. Of course, we know that FFP has been a problem for us in the past, but I did a show a couple of weeks ago when I mentioned that a leading financial guy said that Newcastle United are still pretty comfortable when it comes to FFP and PSR and things like that. So are we going to go all out and try and improve the squad again in January? It's not an easy month to improve the squad. You know, we know that there is problems in January with transfer fees and all this kind of garbage. We know it's not easy. But certainly when Newcastle come calling as well. Now, this kid is a centre midfielder, incidentally. He can play in an attacking midfielder position as well, but it's pretty much pointless mentioning attacking midfield at the minute because he doesn't play there. Newcastle don't play that way. And when I say he doesn't play there, I mean Eddie Howe. He doesn't put one in at the minute. Whether that will change, I don't know. He's represented the Netherlands at under 16, 17, 18, 19 and 21s. He's absolutely flying at the minute. He's really, this is one of the kids that the big teams are looking at. And, you know, can we compete? That is the question. And I would say right now, if we try to sign a Wonderkid, given the position we're in, probably not. We need to start improving. People will look at the Champions League and go, well, yeah, we're doing really well in the Champions League. We're looking good. But if you're an up-and-coming player or a Wonderkid, as they're classed as, and you look at the Premier League position, you're going to say, well, hang on a minute, I want to go to a top club. I want to go to a club where I'm going to win things. And if we go for a player like Smith, we're going to have to do some convincing. There's no doubt about that. Now, do we have the people in place now that can do the convincing with the likes of Hopkinson and Wilson and Eddie himself? Probably. But we know, given what happened in the summer, that we missed out on so many players. We don't want to go down that route again. And, you know, when the big boys are hitting, like Barcelona interested in him, PSG, a couple of other Premier League teams, this kid is not going to be easy to get at all. But look, he's got 2 goals and 2 assists already in the Eredivisie. This is after 11 games this season. He's played in the Conference League 2 games already for Alkmaar and has an assist there as well. So he's got good European experience as well at such a young age, which is pretty much incredible. Let me just take a look at how old he actually is. Where's his stats? There we go. Date of birth, 20th of January 2006. So he's 19 at the minute. And as a 19-year-old, it says he's worth 10 million. I think that will go up when everybody starts bidding for him. But go and have a look at him, see if there's anything on YouTube for you to look at. But Craig Hope says we're interested. You know, he's not really ever wrong when he says we're linked to players. But look, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to do a lot of battling in January, guys, to get anybody in because that's just the way it is. You know, we are going to have to start improving as well our league position to make us more appealing to these players. Let's keep fingers crossed. Now, Anthony Elanga has spoken to Swedish media regarding his, well, what I can only describe as an awful start to his life at Newcastle United. I hate saying that because I hope he comes good. He seems like a decent lad as well. And, you know, his form for Nottingham Forest was excellent. We're hearing a lot of pundits who've watched Anthony Elanga over the years say that he's getting better and better, and that maybe Eddie Howe is the man that can just take Elanga to the next level, which we are praying for. However, I haven't seen anything. I don't think you guys out there have seen anything yet to convince us otherwise that this is a £55 million player that we've wasted a lot of money on. And hopefully he gets better. However, speaking to Swedish media, he said in football, things happen quickly. You can play 1 or 2 games and then start on the bench 10 games in a row. So, you know, you just have to be ready all the time. We have the League Cup, the Champions League and the FA Cup, which hasn't even started yet. And then we have the Premier League too. So it's important for me to be healthy so the opportunities will come. You always get hungry. You always want to start and try to help the team. When you start and play several games, you build momentum. It's important for a footballer to have that. Now, for me, that seems like Anthony Elanga is basically saying that, you know, to see the best of him, we need to see a run in the team. Now, to be fair to Elanga, you know, we haven't seen him have a run in the team yet. And you know, we said that about Anthony Gordon. Move when Voldemar came in. You know, move Anthony Gordon back to the left, give him a run of games, and then hopefully get better. That kind of went down the spout a little bit in the Premier League, but it did happen a little bit in the Champions League. Fair enough, but not maybe in the Premier League. But this is interesting from Elanga because obviously he's coming into a club that play a different way to how Forest played. He's got a manager who will probably expect so much more from a player and on the individual basis than what he's been used to in the past. Now, he did look good against Barcelona, I have to say. He put some good crosses in. We didn't convert them. Anthony Gordon missed a sitter that he put on a plate for him. And he could have had a couple of assists this season. But in reality, he doesn't. And to be honest, the last few times he's come on for Newcastle, I haven't been impressed at all. I really haven't. And I don't think a lot of you have. But is that there's still a lot of time, yes, to turn it around. But where can he get a run in the team? That's my question. You know, you've got Jacob Murphy, who is playing outstandingly well at the minute. And yes, he's got his faults, Jacob Murphy, and he can go to pieces at times. But more or less, he gets goal contributions on a regular basis. So where is Elanga going to come in for 7 to 10 games, unless Murphy got an injury? And even then, sometimes Eddie Howe, as he's shown already this season, will put Barnes on the right. So I think Elanga's got a lot of bloody work to do to try and convince Eddie Howe. And we know that when Eddie's been asked in the past in press conferences about Elanga, he has said that it's going to take a bit of time. He hasn't hit the heights yet, but they are working very hard with him on an individual basis. So we'll see what happens and see how that develops. But I just can't see where Elanga's going to get a good run in the team right now, because every time he does get an opportunity, it kind of falls flat on his face. So let's just see what happens with Elanga between now and Christmas, I think. Now, on to the injury front, and Joelinton has basically put out a statement on social media regarding the nasty injury that he got at Brentford. Of course, it was more like a kind of puncture wound, wasn't it? It was nasty, and the pictures back that up, really, that it was a very painful one. He tried to run it off, of course, which probably wasn't a great idea at the time, and he probably should have been substituted at that moment. But look, Joelinton has struggled for form this season. Let's not back away from that. He has struggled big time. A lot of people saying that Jacob Ramsey may have to come in for a few games, at least give him a run of games to see if he is better than what Joelinton has offered this season. And Joelinton himself, I think, will be the first to say that he hasn't been at his outright best. There's been patches at times, but he hasn't been anywhere near the kind of player that we need. But he is hopeful to be fit for the City game. So if this is just an impact injury, he's on holiday with his partner in Brazil right now. So he's getting some sun, he's getting refreshed, he's getting some time off to try and, you know, get the batteries charged up again and ready to go against Manchester City. But given his form, up until now, does Eddie take the risk of playing him against Manchester City, or will he start Jacob Ramsey? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, finally, Yuan Wissa, the man who we have not seen play for Newcastle United yet, as I said in the intro, is literally going to extra lengths to get his fitness back. And what I mean by that is, despite the fact that Newcastle United spend a lot of time on his fitness, working with him day in, day out to get Wissa back on the pitch for Newcastle United for the first time and getting that number 9 shirt on, he's partaken in off-field training as well. And what I mean by that is he's going swimming. I think it's Jesmond that's mentioned, somewhere in Jesmond, to a pool and taking part in public swimming sessions. So, people have noticed him coming in when they've been partaking in public swimming sessions, and he's doing all of that on his free time. There's hydro facilities at the training ground, so obviously he can use the water there, but this is about using his own free time, and I love this about him. If you remember a few years back to the dark, dark days of Steve Bruce, when Callum Wilson came out and said that he was going to a gym in his own time to get properly fit because he didn't feel like he was getting enough at the training ground. Now, this is a bit different because obviously Wissa is getting fantastic services at the training ground to get himself fit with the physios and everything. This is extra that Wissa is doing to get fit. He's pumping the lengths in, and of course, he's been going actually with Malik Chow. So Chow himself has been going along. And I think this is brilliant. It creates a bit of camaraderie between the players as well. But also it just shows that he is wanting really to get fit as soon as he can. Everybody loves a bit of swimming here and there. I love it myself. And for fitness purposes, it is fantastic, especially when you're recovering from injury. Hydro stuff is brilliant. So it's great to know that Wissa is doing all he can to try and get fit in his own spare time as well. And fingers crossed, touch wood, whatever it may be, hopefully we'll see him back in time for the City game. Obviously, he'll only be on the bench, I would imagine, but surely he must be close now to making his first start for Newcastle. But that's it, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for watching. We do have a live show tonight, of course, which is England against Serbia. Billy and Alex will be taking you through the commentary on that game. So do tune in, give them your support, watch it on the telly, but knock the boring commentary off that we normally have for England games and listen to these two because they will be a lot more entertaining, I guarantee it, than what they are on the TV. But do give it a like if you've enjoyed the video, and of course subscribe if you are new. We are less than 80 away now from 44,000, so hopefully we can get them sooner rather than later. And of course, visit thetoonreview.com for all your Toon Review merchandise if you want to support the channel that way. There's some great stuff on the website. But for now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care.